Dakoko Peterside criticizes Governor Wike's project as Governor Wike gives account of his stewardship. Kidnapped Emir of Kajuri Al-Hassan Adamu regains freedom. Ohaneze Ndibo to monitor trial of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. On the foreign scene, dozens killed in Iraqi COVID hospital fire. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Governor Nyesom Wike says the economy of the state has improved under his administration. Governor Wike said this while presenting an account of stewardship in Port Harcourt. He said under his administration, the state has generated more revenue.
Our economy has not just recovered from regression, it has grown and far more robust, stronger, and generating greater revenues for government now than when we came 6 years ago. Although the long-failing national economy continues to draw on our own growth prospects and projections, the fiscal policies and measures we have put in place have and will continue to sustain and increase our economy to create more opportunities for business, jobs, and empowerment. The Rivers Cassava Processing Company alone is a game changer in the long subdued potential of making Rivers State the foremost hub in cassava production in Nigeria.
The governor also said that under his administration, the justice system in the state has been restored.
The new Federal High Court, the new National Industrial Court, the new Court of Appeal Complex, and the new Judges Portal for the state and federal courts all testify to what we have structurally achieved for both the state and federal judiciaries in Rivers State. We have also automated the case management system, ensured employment of more judges and magistrates, and sustained the administrative and financial autonomy of the state judiciary. Contrary to the chaos we inherited, there is no doubt that the justice system in Rivers State has been restored, and what we have now is a system that meets international standards, a judiciary that is working well in advancing the administration of justice and contributing to the socio-economic progress of our states.
The governor also criticized the nomination and screening of Ms. Loretta Anoche for appointment as INEC National Commissioner.
The nomination and desperation of President Buhari and the All-Progressive Congress APC controlled National Assembly to force Ms. Loretta Anoche and Nigerians as INEC National Commissioner is a bad omen for our democracy. By any standards, the most fundamental consideration against the appointment of an electoral umpire in a democracy is the likelihood of bias, which in this case is heavily weighted against Ms. Anoche.
However, former spokesperson of Rivers APC Chris Feinburn criticized Governor Nyesom Wike for failing to give account of how much the state earned in his 6 years as governor of the state. Mr. Feinburn in an interview said Governor Wike only gave a one-sided account of his stewardship at the Obiwali Conference Center yesterday.
There is what is called value for money. There can be no honest accountability presentation or stewardship that will dwell on one side of the ledger. You have to present a proper stewardship by reading from both sides of the ledger. That is from the income side, which means accrued revenue to the state through federal allocations and IGR. Side by side, your expenditure represented by projects and other outflows. This is what will determine whether the people are having value for money or they are being scammed, as in this case. Indeed, there was a state.
In another development, former Director General of NIMASA Dakoko Peterside has denied allegations by Governor Nyesom Wike that he embezzled 3.1 billion naira meant for the Queenstown Canalization, Shore Protection, Sand Filling and Jetty project. Dr. Peterside, while reacting to the allegation on 92.3 Nigerian Infos Hard Facts, explained that the said project, which was awarded in 2010, was to the tune of 1.9 billion naira and not 3.1 billion naira as alleged.
Under my watch, in the first 1 year, I'm aware that the contractor mobilized to site to do canalization, which is the first part of the project. I'm also aware that the contractor at the time was paid the initial mobilization, and I left. I was elected to the House of Representatives by my people. What transpired after then, I cannot give account of those things. I know that at some point, they had issues with the design of the project. I don't know if they were able to resolve those issues until the advent of the Wike administration. For a man who had no plans for the people of Opobo, he found an excuse not to continue with the project.
Dr. Peterside counterclaims that the Rivers State government is not owing any bank.
Rivers State is the second most indebted state in the country. I like to put that fact out. There's a debt management office. You can verify this. At the time the last governor left office, Rivers State was owing in the neighborhood of 15 to 25 billion maximum. Today, Rivers State is owing in excess of 200 billion. I'm not talking about domestic debt tied to contracts. So it's also wrong to say Rivers State is not borrowing. Rivers State is borrowing in the same way federal government is borrowing. The challenge is not that you shouldn't borrow. What are you borrowing for? What are you? How are you spending the money you're borrowing? We've not been able to create an economy for Rivers State. The economy is not thriving.
The former Nibasa DG also said building of flyovers does not mean that government is successful in the area of infrastructure.
There are two sides to it: income, expenditure, and value derivable or outcome. I've done primary analysis of the revenue of government, the expenditure pattern, and value derivable or outcome for Rivers people, and it shows it's on the negative. The Rivers people has not gotten maximum value from the much money government has earned.
Moving on, Chidinma Ojukwu, the suspected killer of Chief Executive Officer of Super TV, Sifo Ataga, has denied having a hand in his death. In a trending video interview, the 21-year-old claimed that she found Ataga's corpse after returning to the service apartment where both of them lodged at Lekki, Lagos State. The latest claim is different from the confession of the suspect when she was paraded at the police command headquarters, where she admitted to stabbing the 50-year-old in the neck with a knife after a disagreement. Ataga's cousin Franklin Ufea said he believed Ojukwu did not act alone. Kidnapped Emir of Kajuru Al-Hassan Adamu has regained his freedom. He was released at about 5 p.m. after spending a night in the custody of the bandits. However, the other 13 members of his family are still in captivity. The spokesman of the Kajuru Emirate Council, Dairu Abubakar, confirmed the release of the Emir to newsmen and said the Emir is in good condition. The kidnappers had earlier demanded 200 million naira ransom. It's not clear if the ransom was paid. A federal high court judge has threatened to issue a bench warrant of arrest on former aviation minister Stella Odwa over her continuous absence in court. Justice Inyang Eko issued a threat yesterday following the refusal of the former minister to honor court proceedings. Odwa, now a senator representing Anambra North Senatorial District in the National Assembly, was billed to be arraigned on a 25 count alongside 4 others. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has welcomed a legal team by Ohane Zendibo to monitor the proceedings at the trial of the self-acclaimed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. A communique by the AGF spokesman Umar Gwandu said the move is in line with the doctrine of the right of fair hearing. The AGF said he hoped that the legal monitoring group will come with an open mind and be guided by the rule of law. Still ahead, public health physician warns against Colorado substance used amongst young people. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Following some viral online videos indicating a rise in the abuse of a new psychotropic drug otherwise called Colorado by young people, spokesperson of the Association of Public Health Physicians of Nigeria, Oge Isokariari, has called on authorities to track and block the sources of Colorado due to its dangerous effects. Dr. Isokariari told correspondent Choma Ezewafo that the substance Colorado is man-made and the negative effects, which includes death, is expected.
That's a class of cannabis, okay, which marijuana also falls into that class. So this cannabis is the natural one. So this Colorado probably is a synthetic form, and that means that it's man-made. And because most times when these drugs are taken in, they are not measured, they're taking, sometimes it may be an overdose, okay? And the active ingredients are such that even in minute quantity, different people can react differently to these substances. Wherever those sources are coming from, regulatory authorities need to step up and need to cut down those, clamp down on those sources.
She, however, called for sensitization amongst young people on the need to stay off Colorado, as some of them take it without knowing.
Okay, and we need to also educate our youth out there that these drugs, sometimes they can be contaminated. Sometimes it may not actually be what they tell you that it contains. They contain other substances that you're not even aware of. And this is because people want to make money. They want people to have that experience that will make them get even more outcome of the little that they have. So there's some ingredients that may be contained in those. Most times they are not labeled as having those things, and those may actually be what can be causing or leading to excessive side effects.
Videos on social media have indicated that the Colorado substance is common among recreational drug users in Nigeria. In the online video, those who take Colorado either bark like dogs, walk around like zombies, or outrightly collapse after displaying unpleasant behaviors. It has also been known to cause death. Colorado is a street name for synthetic cannabinoid and is classified as psychoactive substance. It's also known as Black Mamba, Amsterdam Gold, Devil's Weed, X, Mary Joy, Annihilation, Tie-High, and Hawaiian Haze. In business, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Timothy Silva says petrol subsidy will end when the president assents to the petroleum industry bill. Silva, who was speaking at an event, said it was best for Nigeria that the federal government stops subsidy on petrol on the recently passed PIB, has no provision for subsidy. He said the removal of subsidy will unlock more funds that will be deployed to other areas. In entertainment, a GoFundMe page that was set up to raise money for the legal cost of embattled actor Baba Ijesha has been taken down. The actor had been charged with indecent treatment of a child, defilement of a child, sexual assault by penetration, attempted sexual assault by penetration, and sexual assault. The page was set up by a supporter, Oladele Mati, based in Ireland, with the aim of raising €50,000 for legal costs. However, when the site was opened, the page could not be found. In sports, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has urged the Nigerian team to Tokyo 2020 Olympics to put in their best as they represent the hopes and aspirations of millions of Nigerians. Professor Osinbajo made the call yesterday at the send-off ceremony for Team Nigeria, formal handover of the Nigerian contingent to the Nigeria Olympic Committee, and unveiling of the team's official kit.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
More than 50 people have died after a fire broke out in a coronavirus isolation ward at a hospital in Iraq. The blaze at the Al Hussein Hospital in the southern city of Nasiriyah was brought under control late on Monday. The cause of the fire is unclear, but initial reports suggest it began after an oxygen tank exploded. Iraqi Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi ordered the arrest of the head of the hospital. Relatives of patients have been protesting outside the building. The coronavirus pandemic has severely strained Iraq's health service, already suffering from years of war, neglect, and corruption. On the news this morning, you heard that APC chieftain Dakuku Peterside has criticized Governor Wike's project as Governor Nyesom Wike gives account of his stewardship. Kidnapped Emir of Kajuru, Al-Hassan Adamu, has regained his freedom. Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has welcomed Aneze Indibo to monitor trial of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. On the foreign scene, you heard that more than 50 people have died after a fire broke out in a coronavirus isolation ward at a hospital in Iraq. The news was edited by Martha Okere. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this morning. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for listening and have a great day ahead.